Have you ever landed on a football prediction website and just felt completely lost? You're staring at all these numbers, these weird codes and tables, and it feels like you're trying to crack some secret code. Well, today, we're going to decode it all, piece by piece. Let's jump right in.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? Can anyone really, truly predict what's going to happen in a football match? Now, there's no crystal ball, of course, but these websites use a ton of data to give it their best shot. So what we're going to do here is break down how they show you those predictions so you can finally understand the language they're speaking.
Okay, first things first. We have to start with the heart of any prediction site, and that's the main data table. This is where all the most important info lives. And trust me, once you get how this is structured, everything else just kind of clicks into place.
So at first glance, this looks like a spreadsheet full of gobbledygook. You've got the teams, you've got the dates, that's easy enough. But then you have these three columns that are absolutely crucial: selection, percent, and odds. Let's break them down one by one so it all makes perfect sense.
So that selection column, that's the actual prediction itself. They use these little codes to keep things short and sweet. A really common one you'll see is FT1. The FT just stands for full-time, and the 1 refers to the home team. So FT1 is just a simple, straightforward prediction that the home team is going to win the match. See? Easy as that.
Right next to it is the percent column. Honestly, the best way to think about this is as a confidence score. It's the website's own algorithm, crunching the numbers, and spitting out how likely it thinks that outcome is. So, a prediction with an 85% score is one they feel much stronger about than one that's sitting at, say, 60%. The higher the number, the more confident the prediction.
And finally, we get to odds. Now, this is directly connected to the percentage, but it's all about the potential payout. Here's the most important thing to get. The lower the odds, the higher the probability of that thing happening. But, and it's a big but, lower odds also mean a smaller return. It's that classic trade-off, safety versus reward.
Okay, so let's build on that. We've figured out the table, but what about all those other codes you see in the selection column? It's time to get fluent in the language of the most common types of bets.
So on one hand, you have really simple bets like full-time result. We already know FT1 is a home win, FT2 is an away win, and FTX, you guessed it, is for a draw. But then you have something a little different, like double chance, or DC. A selection like DC1X means the prediction is for the home team to win or for the match to be a draw. You see, it covers 2 of the 3 possible outcomes, giving you a bit of a safety net.
Another huge category is over-under. This one's super popular. Instead of picking a winner, you're just predicting the total number of goals in the game. So 4.5 under means you think there'll be 4 goals or fewer. 1.5 over means you're predicting 2 goals or more. And you can get really specific too, like HT 0.5 over for at least 1 goal in the first half, or even TG 2-3 for the total goals to land on exactly 2 or 3.
And you will absolutely see this one all over the place, GG, or sometimes BTTS. They mean the exact same thing, both teams to score. The prediction is just that neither team is going to finish the game with a 0 next to their name. It's a simple yes or no question, really.
Now that we speak the language, let's talk a little bit about strategy. These predictions aren't just thrown on a page randomly. They're usually grouped by risk and reward, which brings us right back to those all-important odds.
And wow, this chart just lays it out perfectly. The site often groups predictions into categories. Just look at the total odds for each one. The most popular picks have super low odds, like 1.25. Then you jump to the big odds category, and they're up to 3.55. And the surprise predictions? They shoot way up to 5.59. You can literally see the risk and the potential reward climbing with each step.
So if there's one core idea to take away from all this, it's this simple relationship right here. When you see low odds, that means the prediction is considered very, very likely. When you see high odds, you're looking at a long shot. It's way riskier, for sure, but the potential reward is so much bigger. That's the game, right there.
But listen, a good prediction site is going to offer you way more than just tables of data. The numbers can tell you what the prediction is, but the analysis and articles are there to tell you why. So let's look beyond the raw data for a second.
If you're just starting out with this stuff, it can be really helpful to think of it as a simple 4-step process. Step 1, learn the terms, which we've pretty much just done. Step 2, read the data in the tables. Step 3, understand the risk by looking at those odds. And then the crucial step 4, go looking for that deeper analysis.
And that deeper analysis comes in all sorts of flavors.
The source we're looking at has blog posts with detailed breakdowns of specific matches, tips for some of those trickier predictions like guessing the exact score, and even guides just for beginners. It's all there to give you the real context behind the numbers on that big table.
So we've decoded the tables, we've learned the lingo, and we've peeked behind the curtain at the analysis. Let's bring it all home and talk about the main takeaway from all of this.
At the end of the day, this is what it all boils down to. These websites aren't selling you a guaranteed future. What they are doing is telling you a story with data, a story about probability, about confidence, and about that constant balancing act between risk and reward. And being able to read that story, well, that's the real skill.
Which kind of leaves us with one last question to chew on. When you break it all down into data and percentages and odds, where does the science stop and where does that unpredictable, beautiful magic of the sport itself take over? Something to think about.